Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I hear the best time to completely rearrange the positioning of your microphone is right in the middle of the damn startup music. Oh, welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 200th episode of the modern era of the Painting with Menoth John show. John, were you aware that we have had at least 200 episodes of Painting with Menoth John?
I was aware.
Yep. Yes, you've been here for all of those, and then some.
Indeed, quite indeed.
So, you know, folks, Jesus, the camera's on dope tonight, folks. The camera's excited.
The camera's bringing the show. It's like, I'm bringing you the show.
Listen, nobody cares more about the 200th episode than that camera right there. You know, folks, in all seriousness, thank you so very much for being with us. I mean, you know, we dead stopped the show once for a year plus, and we brought it back, and some people came back, and those of you who are back, thank you so much for being back. Those of you who are not back, you won't know that I'm talking about you because you're not back. But, you know who you are, even if I'm not talking to you. So, Painting with Menoth John, man, the camera game is strong tonight. Anyway,
it
so,
is.
you know, folks, as we have wanted to do on so many of these episodes, we should start it off with a beverage update. And for once, we should probably get the beverage update correct, in the correct spot at the early part of the show, John. But I screwed it up already because I did introduce the co-host with the host, the mighty right hand of the podcast, the wind beneath my wings. You know him, you love him. He's up in the catbird seat, Mr. John Spencer.
Hey-o!
All right, now we can get to the beverage update. Jesus Christ. 200 episodes, I'm still getting it wrong. You know, folks, there's a rock that we built this podcast on. There's a rock we built it on, and that rock's name is the Kraken. The Kraken. And, of course, I don't think it would be a 200th episode if we didn't start out the show with a little bit of the black magic. Kraken. John, what are you having tonight?
Well, I'm going to start off with Kraken Rum and Coke.
Outstanding. So we are cracking it together.
Indeed.
So on behalf of the Brushheads, the people that have been with us from the beginning till the end. Well, this isn't the end. We're still going. But the end, and then the beginning, and then the continuation. Hey, Ron.
Ron. Well, how much rum you put in a rum and Coke, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. You know, you put how much rum do you put in a rum and Coke? Exactly as much as you intend to. So there you go. Well, folks, we had a little bit of false advertisement because truth has never been our long suit here on the Painting with Menoth John show. I had advertised we were going to finish the Hooch Hauler. That proved to be an impossibility. We took 2 weeks, and I still couldn't get it done. On a scale of 1 to Kathy Wapple, I am a solid 2 for speed, and mostly it has to do with doing other things because life is busy. So I made. You will see when I switch to the painting cam that significant progress has been made. with the exception of two little flamethrower thingies. I've got it all blocked in and a good chunk of it washed. And so tonight on the show, I think that we're going to focus in on probably two different washes, maybe one. It'll be a little bit difficult to do more than one wash because when you start doing washing, if you don't let that wash that you just got done dry, you're going to have bad time.
Yeah.
This
And the same goes with that contrast paint, too.
Yeah, you gotta, much like a fine piece of beef, you gotta let it rest. You just gotta. How many painting podcasts out there, John, do you think compare washing a model with a fine piece of beef?
I think only this one. No one else is bold enough.
No one's got the cojones to call washing beef. I think we're just gonna call it beefing from now on. I gotta beef this model over here.
I like that. I like that.
There you go. So we're gonna we're new trend for those of you who are tuning in from War Machine and Horde's painting group. First off, Ron, to you.
Ron.
Second, I empower each and every one of you to beef your models tonight, if you so feel like the need. John, what was the last time you felt like beefing your models?
I mean, all the time. I mean, that matches. That's how I get my awesome looks on my models. That's my skill level, beefing.
Man, if you can't beef on your model and feel proud about it, boom. I can't. You're not.
All right, I just read Kathy's comment. I compare everything to meat on my stream, y'all.
There you go. So, for those of you who don't remember the good old days of painting with Menoth, John, I'm gonna do a callback right now, John, because that's professional podcasting. Here you have it, the make your own bingo for painting with Menoth, John. That's OP, America. John gets emotional. John Con, fuck theme lists. We remember that one.
Yeah.
Effing Skype. Atlantic Rim. Kraken. We've mark that one off on your sheets, guys. If you got that one at home, make sure you got that. Go off topic. We clearly are there already. Mention hardcore. We haven't mentioned hardcore in a long time, John.
No, I mean we kind of did beforehand, but that's a different type of hardcore.
Hey, thank you, Kathy. That's really kind of you. The Hooch Haulers. I didn't even show it to you. How do you know it's magnificent? But I appreciate the compliment, even if it's not earned.
Facebook, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I still don't know hardcore. That was a thing that existed at one time.
Yeah, at one point, hardcore was a thing.
We mentioned it. John says this is his last episode. Not recently. Let's see. John rubs his eyes. I think that's you, John. You rub your eyes more than I do, I think. IPA beers, they still suck. Trump joke. Oh, covered. Just said it. Trump joke.
It's a joke.
Mention casual. We're hardcore casual. Boom. That's a twofer.
2 for 1.
That's a twofer. Turkish Star Wars. I think that we owe Turkish Star Wars an apology.
I mean, we do.
In a world where Atlantic Rim exists. Whoa. It's a twofer.
Not even mentioning cats.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, shit. I think we need to make a new one of these.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mention casual, Turkish Star Wars, technical glitch. Honestly, guys, I don't touch the rig ever anymore. The only way we get a technical glitch these days is a cat-induced technical glitch, which is a thing. But it turns out that for the whole first 4 years we ran this show, John, I had it wired wrong. I literally, that's why I was getting like feedback and stuff and echoes, is I had the mic wired wrong. It's better now.
Well, there's your John rubs his eyes.
Boom. Mark it, folks. Somebody yell bingo in the chat room if you get it. My girlfriend mentioned Bollywood Star Wars. Well, there you go.
I love Bollywood Star Wars is a little higher level of quality than the Turkish Star Wars.
Bollywood Star Wars is where you have to screw in a lightsaber and pet a Wookiee at the same time. That's a joke for those of you that watch the Bollywoods. I'm not a good painter. I'm an okay painter. I'm an okay. I'm a good enough for me. That's all that matters.
I think that one covers to me now. I
Oh,
think we passed that along to
Oh,
me.
you're a good painter, though. You're a good
Oh,
painter.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I've seen your head. You've got a beautiful head. I envy your head as much as I can.
You know, it took me 3 seconds to realize you were talking about MODOK. Like, was he? Oh!
Oh shit. Shaky cam. Yeah, I can do that. Whoa. There you go. That's shaky cam, folks. In case you forgot it. Spencer crashes.
Now, that should be fixed because I now have a Wi-Fi repeater for Wi-Fi, and I'm actually plugged directly into it.
Fuck yeah.
So we should be good on that. Knock on wood. Actually, hold on. I got some. My phone stand is made of wood and an Autobot symbol.
Oh, there
So
you
knock
go.
on that.
There you go. My phone stand is glass, and I don't even know where I got this from. I think it was like some. I don't know if my ex-wife gave it to me once. I don't know. Probably has poison on it.
I would send you guys a link to where to get these because it's just a 2-part goes together wood, but the guy is no longer doing stuff on Etsy.
Oh well, there you go.
He was in Poland, just not what he's doing anymore, which is too bad. Luckily, I bought a bunch of them and gave him out as gifts one Christmas.
I can Telkazar asked for a shaky crotch cam. There you go.
Oh, shaky crotch cam. That is definitely money.
The mic out of the
Oh!
way. There you go. Shaky crotch cam. Mark it on your form there. Can you hear us? That's actually relevant, but we haven't
Yeah.
had that problem all that recently. We still want to
Nope.
make sure that you hear us. So the big revelation on that one, guys, was that I had my mic turned off for about 5 or 6 episodes. You can't make it up. 200 episodes, maybe 30 of them, the mic was just straight up. Ever since we came back, the mic was just off. 40K. John, did you know, John? Always another catchphrase of the pod. Did you know John should be on this list somewhere?
Yeah.
That there was 40K just came out with a 9th edition.
I did know that.
Yes, that is 6 more editions than War Machine and Hordes. And
It is. And I don't think War Machine Horde is ever going to catch up to that.
I don't see it either. And we know Guild Ball's not going to make it. So
Shots fired early!
shots fired, and technically a segue, but we're not quite there. So, and then of course the last one. Hey Ron.
Ron.
So just to show you my level of dedication to the show, this is taped up to my wall over there. I say rest in peace Guild Ball too. I mean,
Yeah.
bless their hearts. They gave her a hell of a they gave her a hell of a run for the money, and I don't disagree, Legionnaires. The new Blood Bowl edition probably killed Guild Ball.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things, since we're going to segue into that particular topic tonight.
Yeah, might as well. I'm going to go on the face cam here so we can talk.
So I think Guild Ball was just too much War Machine and Hordes at a point where War Machine people didn't want the same things as War Machine and Hordes.
Fair enough.
It was very tokeny. It's very specific, and I don't think people wanted that from a game as much. I mean, Blood Bowl, I hate to say just does it better, but it does a lot of things a lot better. It's a lot easier. Guild Ball was at that weird complexity point. People would walk by and be like, I don't know what you're playing, and I don't care. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. I think
And
that
then
the
change the models. Oof.
I think that the explanation that they gave in their kind of their post-mortem that they put out, which I thought was very well written and very interesting. And by the way, Sherwin will always be a friend of the show, and it would be good to have Sherwin back on the show a little bit and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit and catch up, because it's been probably 2-3 years since I've chatted with him, and he was great. He's a fantastic writer, and I think they nailed it down. I said Guild Ball was in a very weird spot because it had become hyper competitive. The only way you could play the game was being very competitive, and it was such a tall learning curve, much in the same way that War Machine Hordes can tend to be, and not tend to be, it fucking is, and
It is.
And that made it unapproachable. for new players.
Yep, unapproachable. Not a lot of models. The models were cool, but then people playing, they'd have with so many counters out that discourages people. You know, people don't play a lot of board games. Casual people, they see a million counters. They see squad leader and they're like, oh hell, fuck no, I ain't playing that. But then they see something easy peasy, you know, with a handful of counters. It's like, oh, I can play that. That looks fine.
Yeah.
It's the perception of complexity sometimes more than the complexity.
Yep. And my buddy Tsitsi over in the Netherlands, he and I played Guild Ball against a guy from a different country that I literally had to get on a plane and fly 8 hours to go see. I played more Guild Ball with him than I played with anybody else in the world, and and he was, I mean, it was okay. I think, I think it's a cautionary tale, and unfortunately, I think perhaps War Machine and Hordes is already. This camera needs to slow the fuck down, get some CBD oil, and relax.
That camera needs Ritalin.
No kidding. I think that War Machine and Hordes would have benefited from Guild Ball dying about 5 years ago. And the reason I say that is that if they would gone through the learning curve of realizing, and maybe they already realize it, that the game had entered into a level of complexity that was no longer approachable as a game. That I mean, I love it that I see posts every now and again. I'm playing my first game of War Machine. Well, God bless you. Good luck.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Well, you even said it once, is that you didn't have the ability to keep up with Guild Ball changing their seasons even. You mentioned that there early on.
Yeah.
And that's a turnoff to people. We want updates, but it doesn't need to be that level of updates. And for, Privateer Press learning from Guild Ball's demise, they are literally retracing the steps of when games workshopped a lot of times. So I don't think they're learning anything.
No.
But we don't need to go into that. They're not the topic. Guild Ball is, because, it looked like a good game, fun game. I would always just be like, I've got Blood Bowl, and they just re-released Blood Bowl. Why would I Guild Ball?
Yeah. Yep.
So get in right away, because, I'm not going to get into too many miniatures games right away. It's dangerous now. Unless I really love painting the minis, like, Marvel Crisis Protocol. Sure, if it goes away, I still got cool Marvel models I painted, and I feel like I upped my skills painting them, as evidenced by my giant head.
I backed the Riot Quest Kickstarter for about 3 days, and then I realized, John, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I
even love the concept.
I even have people to play with, but the problem is COVID for one, and I can't see it. I have to pick and choose my places. Right now, Charles and I are playing Space Hulk, and I would
awesome.
I'd rather sit down and paint my Space Hulk, to be honest.
And they got some. You got the more recent version, I assume.
I have third edition. So when it came out and it was fancy, it's languished on my shelf for years, just waiting for someone old enough to play with me.
It's got good models, very very fun character models. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yep, they got a lot of scenery. You're not gonna be basing them though, because that's not how that game works. But no,
you can if you want.
You could. You absolutely could. Put them on some nice little square bases. They might stand up a little bit nicer.
Yes.
But anyway, so there you have it, folks. Hey, Steamforged, good on you. I'm not sure what's going to become of that company.
It's good to go out on your own terms.
Yeah, of course. I don't know what's going to become of Steamforged, to be honest. The last thing I have of theirs was Dark Souls, the game, which I have never played, and probably
they're God tier, but unfortunately, based on my somewhat limited Twitter perusal, people who are like, we're thinking about God tier, are like, yeah, well, after this with Guild Ball, I'm not sure I'm going to get into God tier. So I don't know. I know they had their own line of dice for a while. I think that was a horrible mistake. You can't break into that easily. You're going to have to, unless you've got special dice, don't try dice.
Yeah.
Or you better have some sort of gimmick, not just dice. They had good dice, solid, perfectly usable dice, but I think at some point they were trying just to fill all that stuff and try and be UK based filling all that stuff. Where I think they were going to try paints at one point. I don't think that ever got off the ground, which is probably for the best.
Legionnaires is asking, was there a lot of Blood Angels iconography on the Space Hulk models? I don't.
That's lightly.
I mean,
they're all Blood Angels.
They're all blood. They are all Blood Angels without question. The question is, was there anything uniquely Blood Angels about them other than they were red?
Oh no, they've got blood drops and the wings all over the place.
Okay, cool. I couldn't remember. Seems like the
I was still working at the workshop when that came out, so.
Cool. Seems like the Resident Evil game they partners with Capcom hasn't gone anywhere. You're right, it hasn't. They've kind of become kind of cool minis or not in that respect.
Yeah, but they're not as scummy. They're not as scummy as the.
Yep.
So if they can make it going with those board game crossovers with Capcom and whoever, by all means, guys, keep it going.
Yep.
Work on your thing. Make your next thing amazing. Not to speak ill of games that are barely out, but don't make it Warcaster, which seems cool, but is a little. I don't know if it's the right game now. You know, it's a little weird. But make your next game. Make it shine. Take that time, put that polish on it. You will be rewarded. People just want a great game. They will flock to a great game. And you guys, you got a name that people respect. You've got lots of good minds, lots of guys who are big in the War Machine Hordes. They know competitive, but I think you're also the guys who know the casual side of it too.
Yeah, and I think that's what RiotQuest is trying to figure out is trying to hit that. And from everything I've heard from people who play it, it's super fun.
It's super fun.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking about it right, because I'll be honest with you. This hooch hauler has destroyed my desire to paint anything big ever again. And I had so much fun painting that little pug that there's something to be said for just getting some one-off models and having some fun with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bought some from a company. I've got some large-scale BattleTech style models here in a box I want to get to as soon as I'm done with some stuff. They're all resin and nice. This is going to be fun to play with, put together, paint.
Sure.
They're going to be cool.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good segue. Let's talk a little bit about what's next for Painting with Menoff, John, because I am, like I said, probably episode 2001, a Painting Odyssey. 201, I should say, will be the episode I actually finished the hooch hauler and put him on a base and all that kind of good shit with the snow and the whole 9 yards. I think it'll be a good looking model by the time it's done. And then I think the next step is probably to find some one-off models to paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. Sometimes just a good Reaper model. I mean, it's not like they don't make a million models. That is the wrong color. Fuck me.
And I do love the sculpts that come out of Privateer. I mean, they're super beautiful models. And
absolutely, they make like a ton of great models.
And their aesthetic is right in my wheelhouse. I think the right thing to do is probably there's a couple models that I've been looking at. The little pig in a tank, I think might be kind of fun. I'll probably just get a pig in a tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get those models you just want to paint. I mean, we discount that too much as gamers. Must be game useful. No, it's got to be just a model you want to paint. I got a Paladin over here in the midst of painting. I mean, heck, I painted up 2 BattleTech models that I'm not going to play with tabletop BattleTech anytime soon.
No,
just they were there. They needed paint.
Yep,
they're painted.
Yep. So I think that's highly possible. I think we could probably do a little bit of that. More than likely, folks, this is going to be every other week. I'm feeling it a little bit more than every week, because after a couple weeks, I do have an itch to get in front of the microphone again and hear the dulcet tones, as I want to do. I'm going to put on the blue glove of love here, and actually do a little bit of painting. I think that would probably be the optimal thing to do on my show. That's allegedly about here. Hey, this just in. Russ Wakelin of the D6G podcast, his eldest daughter is going to be going to Milwaukee School of Engineering.
Oh, sweet.
So he's going to be swinging through town at some point. So probably have him down here at Ron's Pub. If I can talk him into it, maybe we'll do a little impromptu podcasting.
Well, let me know. Do what I can.
Because, folks, it should be no surprise to anyone without the D6G. There's no PwMJ.
Yeah,
they're the OGs.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep. So they've stepped back a little bit. They're not doing the big marathon episodes anymore. They do what they call pips now every now and again, which are just little short things. Life's busy, man. Oh, holy shit! I blew up my blue glove. I had a blowout.
Blowout.
Ah, it's okay. Oh, I even put it on the wrong hand, so I need a different one. So this is
Legion completeness issues are definitely a problem that a lot of gamers face, but sometimes you just gotta try and get by them and do what you can. I try not to have that. I haven't had that at all with Marvel Crisis Protocol. I go out of my way to not worry about getting everything. I'm not sure this dry brush is.
Gloves are. So I'm wearing I'm wearing the old school Painting with Men Off John shirt, the original, the OG. Hang on for a second.
Well, I've got.
Vamp it up a little bit. I'll be right back.
Well, I am just going to be dry brushing a little bit of brown on the Daily Bugle. I'm not necessarily happy how that contrast paint went on the brown up here. Ooh, that is way too much. I need to. It's a very splotchy on here. I want to just try and splotchy may look okay because it's weathered and all, but I want to get a little dry brush, a little highlight on there, get a little bit of the splotchiness going. That's my good dry brush to replace splotchiness with messiness, which actually sometimes looks better, so we'll see. Just want to see if I can do that. I don't want to spend too much more time on this because I've been spending forever. And Kathy's like, every time I think you're done, you add something else. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I had someone else mention how I put way more work into a piece of terrain than someone has ever seen anyone put into a piece of terrain. But, I got one speed in painting right now. It's all the way.
Oh, fuck yeah. So I could not find. I looked high, I looked low. I could not find it anyhow. And let me switch over here to the painting cam. I don't know where my box of blue gloves of love went. But I do have a spare blue glove of love. It was over by the airbrush kit. So we're going to go ahead and do with that. Let's see here. What remains to be done? I need to paint this little doohickey over here, the little flamethrower-y dude. And I need to do some washings. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to block out some silver and some goldish metals, some bronze, molten bronze. For the flamethrower deal.
I'm doing this dirty, heavy dry brush on this, trying to clean up some splotchiness.
Deal.
Right, it'll be all good.
Yeah.
I just need to, like I've said in my Casserole post, I don't really want to paint white right now. That's not something I want to do. I'm gonna save that for a weekend day when I'm like, I got nothing pending. I ain't gotta worry at all. I got nothing necessarily gonna interrupt me. Do it in the morning. Cool. I'm just gonna wait for the ideal circumstance.
Ideal. Yep. You gotta painting white is a state of mind.
Well, actually, that doesn't look bad. It just looks worn and weathered. And, I don't know. We'll see. I'll take a good picture of it later. But yeah, in reference to our earlier thing about letting stuff dry, I actually had let, as soon as I got upstairs, I put the coat of contrast paint on the top of the brown rim so I could have it dry in time for the podcast. So that I had something to do a little bit of. Let that go too.
So if any of you are wondering why I wear the blue glove of love, because painting safe is painting with love. Mostly because my sweaty ass hands would rip the paint right off of this model.
I've had it happen on some models a lot, so I use the either the wooden dowels or the very much recommended GW butt plugs here.
I just can't. I can't wrap my hand around the butt plug and have it feel good.
That's fair. I mean, they make multiple sizes, right?
I do, but
They got the small, they got the extra large.
well, I'm not. I don't judge. I just can't take the butt plug into my hand and make it feel right for me.
I
It's
mean,
not. It's not in my. I realize I'm probably giving something up by not taking the butt plug into my hand. But
but you got the blue glove up, so you're okay.
I
mean,
do. I do. And
I don't have a lot. It's not easy for me to find gloves that fit my big, meaty hands too well. Plus, you know, Madness Minis, Chris Wells made those holders for me with the wooden dowels for painting lots of models. So I figure I should use them. Been using them a lot. I'll just supplement them with a couple of the butt plugs.
if you're beefing with a butt plug, then you probably are getting the maximum effect. But for me, I'm going to beef with my blue glove of love if I have to. The key is to get the beef on the model.
I feel sorry for anyone coming in late and not knowing what we're talking about because that just sounds dirty.
It does, and that's part
On
of it.
purpose,
That's kind of the point. All right, so
which is better than on purpose.
shout out to my next door neighbor who apparently was checking out my podcast.
Oh, well, so funny joke, or funny note. My boss at work listens to the other podcast. I have not told him where to find this one yet because one has to have some safe refuge.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're beefing on camera, you don't want that to get back to your boss. Sure as hell don't want him to ask you for some help with butt plugs. Your boss might walk into your office and say, "Hey, I got a problem with my butt plug. Do you think you can help me with that?" And you'd have to say, "Yeah, I know all about the butt plugs." And then
that I had in the office. I have a cubicle, sir.
well, that is your office, isn't it?
Sure.
I mean, I have an office. It's called my goddamn basement. It's approximately, I don't know, 50 centimeters from my painting office. So
Fair enough. So now I'm dry brushing these traffic lights because I realized the wrong paint I had grabbed earlier is the correct paint to dry brush them with. So let me get a little bit of dry brush on this.
right.
I think they actually came out pretty good with the. It was rucksack tan for the basis of it to get that sort of yellowy look, but then I put the Ayandan yellow contrast over it, and it gave it a real good yellowy look like they're supposed to have. And now the rucksack tan dry brush I think is doing well to what it's supposed to do, bring out those highlights. I am pleased.
Rucksack tan is money.
It is. And I'll be honest, all these paints, we talk about how not everyone wants to use contrast. Absolutely, but sometimes it's the right tool for the job. Sometimes you just want that super duper, like I use that super wash, so to speak. That sort of old school wash / stain that I think works very well. I mean, I don't know how you guys can see it. I'll have pictures tonight or tomorrow or something. It's coming along well. I just need a little more things, and this one's done. I don't want to go too crazy. I've been painting this terrain for a while. And I got those models I want to paint, and then I got Dungeons and Doggos I want to paint, and then I got the Battletech Kickstarter will be fulfilling soon, and then I'll have 1 million Battletech models to paint. So there's models coming.
Hell yeah.
And that's even without the ones for games. It's all good. And I've got Venom over there. So I got a bunch of other models to get eventually. There's plenty.
Good deal. Well, we'll have plenty to do here on the Wednesday night extravaganza. Folks, we're not going to charge you for the whole seat. We're not even going to charge you for the edge.
I mean, heck, we're not even going to charge you.
No, we don't have a Patreon. Everybody's got Patreons. That's not us. That's other things. All right.
Patreon or Twitch subscription. Actually, one of the MechWarrior Online guys spent his birthday with a long stream since he's in Germany, and he was still streaming when I got home and up to my desk at 8 p.m. Eastern.
That is
so popped in
early in the morning in Germany.
Gave him a good little subscription for all the YouTube videos he makes and all, and for spending time with us.
Yep.
He actually wanted some of us to come play with him, but I'm like, I'm not good enough at this game to play with you. And he's like, I won't judge. I'm like, I don't believe you will judge, but Either you're gonna be playing people you don't need to be playing because you're great and we're not, or I'll be playing people I shouldn't be playing because they're great and I'm not.
Fair enough.
I'm okay.
Fair enough.
Actually, I've been going up in the ranks a little bit. Been feeling like I've been getting better, and I like that.
Progress
And
is
actually,
good.
yeah, and they're competitive guys and really cool. Like we like that you note that you're not great and that you're trying to be better. That's what we want to see from people. I'm like, that's what I'm trying. No, Legionnaires, it wasn't Baradol. It was actually TTB, the other German. Baradol, I would probably have jumped in and played with. He's a lot more fun-loving, more personable like that. PTB's fun, but he goes in those rants, and deserved rants. We all do. I can appreciate a good rant.
Yes, you can. Hashtag.
John, did you see the model I sent you?
What's that? Yes, I did.
Did you see the model I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Fucking,
I did not feed the bear at that point. I knew you were
so for everyone out there, it's the She-Hulk for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I love that She-Hulk's in it. She-Hulk's cool. She's holding the girder over her head, it's like she's going to throw it at somebody, or just caught it from like a building falling. Very cool. But she's standing on a pile of tactical debris with it, and I'm like, that's not how you would even do that. I'm okay for the pose of tactical debris, but if you're holding something heavy, your feet are going to be on the ground on something stable, not on something that could shift, because that's just a stupid way to hold something up. Sorry, I'm done.
I don't disagree.
But yes, there's another MechWarrior German YouTuber, TTB. Look him up. He's fun, but a little more serious at times, which is fine. In fact, I like that it's a different vibe. I don't want everyone just to be the same vibe. You don't want their podcast to be the exact same, because then you're like, well, which one do I listen to? They're all the same.
Yep, I feel you.
Want some distinct differences, if we can. Oh. I'll tell you, I really like the way the pink is on that. I know you got more to do on it, but I like the way it stands out and fits with that whole army theme you got.
The pink was one of the better. Sticking with Chris Miller's pink idea was one of the better decisions I made on my trolls. And then the skin's going to be purple with the pink rocks, and it all works together. It all worked out to be a pretty good decision. Thank you for the kind words. However,
I just love it. I think every army needs some sort of something to keep it together when you're putting it on the table. You want some defining color if you can, and a lot of the times if you're having an army.
Yep.
A lot of skirmish-based games you can't, but it is what it is.
So I'm going to use this Army Painter Dark Tone because it's really good.
It is also money.
And I'm just going to start working on some of these silvers until I'm tired of working on them. I'm going to start here in the back.
Gonna beef those silvers?
I'm going to beef them a little bit. I'm going to beef them until I can't take it anymore.
Fair enough.
And the idea here is when you're beefing, you give it the beef as hard as you can, but you got to control the beef. Because if you get a little out of control with your beef, it looks sloppy. And you don't want that. You don't want to be slopping your beef all
true
over time.
statements.
Yep, so go ahead.
I don't know what the proper ratio of rum to Coke was, but it should have been more than I put in there because I'm empty.
Oh, shit.
But
Well, get a drink.
No, man. I'm going to sip a little bit on this peach brandy I got at the same time as I picked up some Kraken because I was out.
By the way, this portion of the Painting with Men off the John Show is brought to you by Old Forester Whiskey.
Ooh.
Old Forester. It's good.
Man, this smells really good. I wish you could smell this.
That's what I get. I get that a lot. I wish you could smell this.
Oh, that is tasty. One might say it is peachy.
Peachy keen. All right,
if you're into puns.
We're gonna work on the distillation equipment back here. See if I'm actually keeping any of this in. So the beautiful thing about trolls is they're much like orcs. They're a little patchwork. So when you're doing when you're beefing your model like I am right now, being super careful with it is not a thing you need to necessarily do. Because
some call it patchwork, some call it characterful.
Yep. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm beefing to the left and I'm beefing to the right, and I'm gonna stand up, sit down. I'm gonna fight, fight, fight.
I was going to think about baseball and beef all night.
Oh shit!
We
I'm
both went ways with that.
I'm gonna beef on this all night and make
There
it
you go.
beautiful. Beef. Gonna beef on this all night.
So, Kathy Wapple says she's picked up some Kraken to use in a mixed drink with Ace pineapple hard cider and coconut milk. It's kind of like a pina colada. That is very interesting, and I wish to hear a report.
So a Kraken colada is a thing.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Shit.
it's actually on a. They serve them on the cruise line that I was on. The hell was it? Which one was it that I was on? Royal Caribbean.
Caribbean? Okay.
Yep, they have Kraken coladas. Ah, god
Oh.
damn it! Put my finger right in the beef.
I see now why you chose that particular cruise line to go on.
Why is that? Because
Because the Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken.
Yeah.
Oh
Speaking
my
of the
god!
Kraken,
My god! I keep on
what do you
putting my
think
finger
of
in the
the,
beef.
what do you think of the name of Seattle's hockey team?
I like it. I wish there. I think the Trogdor. They should have missed. They missed the boat with that logo though. They should have called themselves the Trogdors. I'll have
They
some.
could be burning the hockey league.
I'll be owning
Burn.
some. I'll be owning some Krakenware before too long.
On that note, and more in my neck of the woods, how pathetic is it for a team to not make a decision and call themselves the Washington football team for a year because they're fucking pathetic?
I mean, honestly, you can't react to the marketing need. You've literally not been thinking about this. You had no way
Right.
to react to this.
And they spent like practically a month to make the decision that they're not going to make a decision this year.
It's just ridiculous.
Now, I agree. It was time for the name to change. It is time. Do it. I'm there. I want to get rid of my Redskins crap and get whatever they're going to call themselves. But you're missing the boat. There's Krakenware out there.
I mean, who don't want some of that sweet, sweet Krakenware?
Who doesn't want a Kraken winter coat? That sounds perfect for me.
I know it's not a bad logo. Like I said, it's missing a beefy arm, and it's missing consummate V's. But
Oh, Legioners, did a guy copyright all the best names? Well, then that guy needs to get punched in the dick. Because that is really bullshit, and you're not going to get any money. They're just like, fine, spend money, we'll fucking not make a decision. Ben Snyder's got plenty of money, and he ain't going to give it to you because you're being a dick.
so what did somebody do? Someone copyrighted Washington this, Washington that, or not copyrighted, but
Probably all the name. Well, the fans were making all these names, but I think apparently someone copyrighted them all, which is, well, that's a bigger problem, a minor problem in today's world of the world.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Why people got to be like that, John?
I don't know. You're just a dick. You're not intelligent. You're not, getting one over. You're not. All you're doing is being a dick. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm good like that. I
Not
think
that guy listens to our podcast.
No, but we told him. Fuck.
We did.
My
It just means
neighbor that was checking out the show though did mention the fact that she was not a fan of how much we swore and how much we drank, and I said what I told her was I said, you know what, that's a fair criticism.
It is fair.
I didn't say I was going to change it, but I said I was gonna. I said it was a fair criticism.
We try to swear only when necessary, and for drinking, just let her know that I make it into work every day after the podcast with no hangover. So obviously, I am not drinking too much.
No, I'm fine with exactly what we do and how we do it and how we say things and all that kind of stuff. This is a podcast of positivity, and sometimes we are positively loaded and sometimes we're positively filthy, but we are always positive.
That's true. I am going to be positive here, and I'm going to show off my Snake Eyes action figure because I'm a fucking geek.
Hell yeah.
This is super sweet, and this is only the tip of the iceberg, John. Like, the suppressor for his Uzi comes off, and has its own spot in the holster. I can just be like, let's holster that. He doesn't need no suppressor right now.
Nice.
like pistol goes into the hole. This thing is crazy good. Sword in the sheath, the knife goes in. It's crazy. And then, since it's the collector's one, over there on the table, you guys can't see it. There's a whole giant box with this big sort of shrine thing that goes in there with like a million other ninja type weapons. And that's super awesome and well worth the money I paid for it.
If it brings
And
you
gets
joy,
Absolutely.
then that is what it matters.
That's what it is. Snake Eyes is my favorite. I would consider a Storm Shadow also, because only a ninja can kill a ninja, which is why both teams had to have a ninja. It's the age-old rule.
Fuck yeah.
And the reason they don't have multiple ninjas is because the rule of ninjas. The more ninjas they have, the less powerful each one is. That is why when there's a million ninjas come out of everywhere, the good guys can kick the crap out of it, but only one ninja shows up.
Boom.
That motherfucker's a fight.
Yep.
See? Rules. You gotta know the rules.
If you don't know the rules, then you're doomed to be just, sucking hind tit.
No, I since I'm not buying a lot of game miniatures right now, I'm spending my money on action figures and shit. It's
good to be an
kind of
adult.
fun, actually.
It's good to be an adult.
Yeah. It's I want to show off this one too. This one's pretty cool. I have a Gypsy Danger coming, John.
Nice.
I had to. I mean, how can you not? But this is a big part of my childhood. I actually, for those of you who know BattleTech, this is a Shadowhawk.
Okay.
But it's actually based off a Japanese anime or a manga called Fang of the Sun Dougram. This is the Dougram armor. It is the hero armor. It is super cool. This one's not the best, but it was actually relatively cheap, and it looks super sweet. But it is one of my favorites, and that's what I'm doing. I'm getting like all the stuff that I love for the kid, and the part where it comes in is I actually had a toy of this before I knew what BattleTech was. My mom had randomly bought me like this one. It was die cast in plastic. All the armor pieces came off. You put it together. Had a little guy went in underneath the cockpit and all. Had the guns, and it was super cool. And I had that long before I knew what the hell BattleTech was, or long before BattleTech borrowed the design. There were quotations there if you didn't see it. Air quotes.
I saw him.
But I do like that actually they're doing a lot of work to take as they called them, the unseen, all the models they borrowed, and redesign them so they can still use them. So that's super cool. I like some of the designs too. There's actually trying to pimp someone else's work, which we do occasionally here. Bishop Steiner does a lot of artwork, a lot of it BattleTech artwork, and he's doing redesigns of a lot of their old artwork. And if any of you know BattleTech, you'll know some of their old artwork is not so great because it was the 80s.
Yep.
But he sold me when he took a mech called the Sentinel that looked terrible, looked like an egg with a stupid gun arm, and I'm like, that is the worst. Never even gave it a double look to see how good it could be because it was ugly. Well, he took that and his redesign made it look fucking awesome. And I'm like, you know what, sir? You're gonna get my my sweet Patreon money now because you're making great artwork, and I wish you to continue.
Artists gotta get paid, man. Artists gotta get paid.
Yeah, so if you guys like the artwork guys do, try and throw them a buck. Throw a buck a month. You might not think it's much, but every little buck helps those guys.
See, I don't know that you could use a technique like I'm using right now if you had a butt plug.
Well, that model's too big for a butt plug, John. Can you imagine the size of that butt plug?
That would have to be an enormous butt plug.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that with a butt plug.
So now, like we talked about, I got to let this beef dry.
Yes.
Because if this is wet beef right now, and as much as I got to try to suck this beef back into its dispenser.
See, you always try and get the excess, liquid out of the beef. You don't want it wet beef. You want dry beef.
Wet beef is the worst. Because if you have wet beef, then you're liable to cause a smear. And when you have smear on your beef, that's no bueno.
Indeed.
What time is it?
Gotta let the beef rest. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta let this. Guys, this beef has got to take a break. So we're gonna put that away so I'm not tempted. But once again, I think some positive steps made today.
Absolutely.
I beefed pretty hard. I was using my black beef this time because that was I had to give it the business. The the best part about sometimes the best part about beefing is that you'll find places that you missed when you were color blocking, and then you say, "Oh shit, I got to put some base color on that," and then beef it.
Yeah.
I'm letting the beef rest. There's no doubt about it, Kathy. And yes, the Rhino butt plug. I think that's the class. That is Rhino class butt plug, right?
Yeah, like I can put in my Titan back there, or my Knight. I don't put it on a butt plug. There's no butt plug big enough.
No, no. But the thing I like about how this model's coming together, it's getting that cartoony feel. That when I'm getting a decent paint job on a troll model, it starts picking up a cartoony feel to it, and that I can feel good about it. And I'm starting to feel really pretty good about this. One thing I'm going to do with the shields is I'm going to try to get like a green and a red stain type of an effect, like they've stained the tanned leather a little bit, and try to get some variation going in there. And that, it's just gonna be a beef. This is gonna be a colored beef, and if I beef carefully, I can then come back and put some detail on the stitching, and then that shit's gonna.
People don't realize how much you can do with just some careful application of beefing.
Beef, yeah, you got to if you beef carefully, you don't have to drown your model in beef. You don't.
No.
Don't.
I drown my stomach in beef, but that's different.
Yeah. So I'm putting the lid on the wet palette for tonight. I think. We're gonna turn it off. Ladies and gentlemen, Old Forester. It's a whiskey. You get the blue label. I'm gonna hold it up here for the camera. I'm not getting paid by Old Forester. Maybe I should approach them. Get some sponsorship. I could even do a commercial for it. It's the 200th anniversary of the show. I should probably do that. It says, ladies and gentlemen, if you're beefing tonight, Old Foresters. You know, John, it's a little known fact. Were you aware, John, if you needed to cut your beef, Old Foresters is an ideal diluent for your beef. You can take that beef, apply Old Foresters to it liberally, boom, right on the model. You wouldn't even know it's there. Old Foresters. It's the tits on beef. There you go, folks. See, that's the kind of stuff that they're not getting.
Instant sponsorship. Instant.
They're not getting
like,
that.
boom.
They're not getting there. If you allow us to advertise for you, then you can have an advertisement from us. There you have it, folks. That's the kind of marketing that we're well known for.
Indeed.
I feel like another shaky crotch cam might be in order, or we could do the media section. So I think we'll just do the media section.
All right.
So.
Well, I'm doing try and get the Twitch to not be crazy, but hope everyone's seeing Twitch okay. It keeps freezing on me.
Old Foresters, great for pigment powders too. If you took some Old Foresters and mixed it right in there, boom, when it's done, you get the hint of oak and a perfectly weathered model. Boom. Did I buffer out? Only if you beefed out first. There, I'm saying the same old thing. John, are you still there?
I like this slow motion picture, so it's kind of interesting.
Are you there, John?
I'm here.
Okay. So are we experiencing some difficulties? Oh,
yeah, there were technical difficulties. I think it was Twitch, but looks better now.
Twitch, hold on. I've got to check this, or else I'm gonna have to go back on the beef can. All right, here we go. So there we go, and it looks like things are improving. Perhaps, yes, we're in a good place now.
Legionnaires is claiming I crashed for bingo. I don't know if I crashed.
There you go. All right. No, this was Twitch. That's Twitch. What's that? Wouldn't that be? Effing Skype. There you go.
Effing Skype. We can call Effing Skype. That sounds good.
Skype. Yep. Because Twitch is like Skype but different. So.
But.
Yeah. Anyhow, so John, it's been a busy week for media for me, if you want to believe that.
That's awesome. I actually, gonna be honest, I play so much MechWarrior Online some nights, I don't necessarily watch that much media, but since I have blessed freedom for a little bit from Star Wars, Clone Wars.
I'm so
I
sorry.
did watch a movie specifically for this podcast.
Outstanding. Please share with us what it is that you watched.
I watched Rocket Man, which is let's call it a biopic of Elton John.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's good to note that this is Elton John is completely involved in this, so it's almost an autobiographical pick of it, and done based on the research I've done. People maybe say it's not 100% accurate, but it has been praised for being overall pretty accurate.
So Biden level accuracy, not Trump level accuracy.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
In Trump, the Trump version of Rocket Man, basically Elton John turns out to be completely straight, but can't carry a tune to save his ass. So there you go.
I would say it ends up being everything is not his fault. Nothing is his fault. Everything is done to him. That's really the underlying theme. Is he does a lot of blaming other people for everything, when other people did fuck him, and not always in the good way, and maybe not even necessarily intentionally. But a lot of it was his own fault, and that sort of thing. It starts off with him coming into rehab, and talking about. Then it flashes back, and the rest of it transpires pretty much chronologically, with some cutouts to him in the in a session.
Okay.
And the whole thing's very, very done in a very surreal fashion. It's not as cut and dry, as realistic as a normal biopic is. It is very
like
surreal.
Bohemian Rhapsody was done. Bohemian Rhapsody was done as a biopic.
Yeah, it's not the same, and I think that's why it didn't get Oscar consideration. I think they were like, it's a little too strange for us.
Yep.
But I like that they took his songs and rearranged they would change the speed, the tempo, or even the key of the song, and fit it in the scene to sort of give a feel of what it is. I mean, it starts off with the bitches back as the kid, and goes into some of his issues with his father and his mother. They didn't apparently have the greatest relationship. He kind of suffered from it, but it shows that he had a good ear for music, but maybe not for writing music. He's actually, I don't know if he's ever written a song, but he's very much throwing himself under the bus for not being able to write a song. If you know him, you know
he wrote music, didn't he? But he didn't write the lyrics.
He had someone else have the lyrics, and he would make the music to fit the lyrics. Him and Bernie Taupin did so many songs together, and he's very complimentary to Bernie in that. Doesn't really throw him under the bus. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Because without Bernie Taupin, there's no Elton John.
Exactly. But it goes through his whole thing and fits the songs in there, and I would say it's much more interesting than the average biopic because the song's in there and you want to hear where it's going, and the surrealism really adds to it. It makes it, I think, a much more interesting movie than a lot of biopics are.
That's really good
because they can get a little dry.
I grew up on Elton John's music. I mean, even my father loved Elton John, and that's saying something.
Elton John is great. I mean, honestly, it's a great pick. It's maybe not as, like I said, cut and dry and clear as an average biopic, but it is very, very enjoyable. I love what they do with the music. I mean, they put it in there, and they don't just do the songs as they were. It's all Taron Egerton singing the songs, or other people with him if it's necessary for the scene. And they all fit in. Even if you were like, I don't know that song doesn't fit, they're like, oh shit, that song fits.
Yeah.
And it ends, and this is sort of like the one I love. It ends with him. I mean, it's all ancient history at this point. There's no spoilers. Him leaving rehab. And note, this would be mid-'80s.
Yeah.
And he's singing a very triumphant version of I'm Still Standing that is great. Because I'm Still Standing is a good, fun song, but he sings it, the way he starts off, very slow. It's very triumphant. Yeah. It's great. And all the music is like that. It's all, if it's sad if it needs to be sad. Like they do Tiny Dancer at one point, and it is a very sad song. They do Goodbye Yellow Brick Road as a very, very sad song at the point. But while they do like Crocodile Rock is a very upbeat, like boom, I've arrived type of song. They do a great job with it, and I can't suggest enough. I mean, this is zero shot of Kraken.
Oh, fantastic! I look forward to it. I think that you know. So here's where I drop heresy on the podcast. I find Elton John's music universally more listenable than Queen. For the
That's a hell of a thing.
yeah, I like Queen plenty good. Don't get me wrong, but on a song by song basis, I prefer Elton John, and a lot of that has to do with nostalgia. I'll be the first to admit it. A lot of that has to do with the nostalgia of growing up.
I might also say it has to do with the piano. It's the same reason I like Billy Joel so much. The piano adds so much to a song. It's a sound that a keyboard can imitate but often doesn't. They're too busy doing other things with the keyboard to do an actual classical piano sound. And much like the horn sections I love in songs, it adds so much. It makes it different.
Yeah.
I love Elton John, love Queen. I mean, whew.
Freddie Mercury is without question 1,000 times better singer than Elton John. But the arrangements and the music and how it all works together, and then you couple it with the struggles. Freddie Mercury and Elton John are how things could have been different. If Freddie had not gotten AIDS, I mean they had a very similar. They had struggles. I mean, being gay in the '80s was no fucking joke.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously, I wasn't gay in the '80s, so I can't speak to it from personal standpoint. But it seems as though
We lived
from
in the '80s. We know they would ostracize anyone for being gay.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same bullshit that cost us people like George Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Society beating down people for loving someone. And that's just dumb. The world needs all the love it can get. Period.
Yeah, I mean, there's a line in there that turns out to be untrue, where Elton John says to his mother, calls him to try and get in front of the thing and make sure she says the right thing to press. He tells his mother that he's gay, and she's like, "Oh, I knew that, but I just keep it out of the papers. And honestly, you'll never truly be loved." And that's like a gut punch, and ends up being fucking untrue. But that's sort of the idea they had in the late 70s, early 80s, that they couldn't love each other like a man and a woman. Which is fucking untrue. And I also love about this, before we finish with it, is they show the brotherly love between him and Bernie Taupin as, as also viable, It's not, romantic love, but it doesn't all have to be. You can have brotherly love for somebody. You can love somebody to not be, physical or anything like that.
Sexually involved with them. It's called
yeah,
maturity.
It's totally different.
It's called maturity, people. Anyway, so
yeah.
Zero Shots of Kraken. I will have to put that on my playlist. 100%. Need to watch that.
Luckily, it's free on Amazon Prime.
Oh, no, free? Holy shitballs.
Free?
Okay, yeah, we're on that.
I mean, I was going to watch it anyways, but free on Amazon Prime is a surefire way to get John to spend some time on a Sunday watching a movie rather than playing MechWarrior Online.
So we are. I'm going to talk real quickly. I've got we got plenty of time. I don't know what I'm rushing about.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Turns out this podcast is exactly as long as it needs to be.
Damn right.
So I found out this week, John, that I'd failed as a father. Failed. Abject failure. Neither of my children had watched the Terminator movies.
What?
And I went, really? And Belinda and I looked at each other and went, how did this happen?
I actually give you a pass, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to defend you right now, John. Do you know why?
I appreciate it.
The first Terminator is an R, and it's a pretty solid R, and I think Chuck's right at the point about now where I think he can watch it and not be a kid about it.
No,
because I saw it when I was really young, and me and the rest of the kids were walking around the elementary school saying "fuck you, asshole," like it was funny, and it was not a good thing.
Fair enough. It is. We watched the first Terminator first. obviously, and
Obviously.
certain revelations started to become obvious. Is that there are directors when you go back in history, Alfred Hitchcock, what have you, that when they start working with a set of actors, they just work with them actors. It, and Jim Cameron has actors he likes to work with.
Oh yeah.
Bill Paxton is in the first Terminator.
Yes, he is. Only man to be killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator.
Holy shit! You're right. You are absolutely right because he's in Terminator 2, right? Predator 2.
He is in Predator 2. Yes, he is.
Yep.
I think actually Lance Henriksen might be close. He might be in on a technicality because Bishop doesn't technically die, but kind of does.
Yeah.
Because Lance Henriksen is in this movie as well. He's in Aliens, and he's also in one of the shitty Predator versus Alien movies.
There you go. And then the guy that plays Hicks in Aliens is
Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn.
Let's use his name, Michael Biehn.
Is also in Terminator 1 as the titular father of John Connor. And then is he in any other movies from Jim?
Navy, not like that. He's in Navy SEALs. He's in Tombstone. Johnny Ringo.
So there you go. So folks, I mean,
Michael Bihn's one of those guys you see in a movie, you're going to get quality. He doesn't do a lot, but he's always a solid quality actor. I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, he does a nice job, and he does a good job in this one as well.
Yes.
So we watched that, and the kids were into it. They thoroughly enjoyed it. We watched The Terminator because we were in the basement because of tornadoes in the area, and my internet got knocked out, and I had it on CD or DVD. I mean, so we put it on the DVD. Boom, had it. Physical media for the win. And we watched it and was like, and he said, well, let's watch Terminator 2. And so we watched that the next night over at Belinda's house. And they were like, okay, I said, no, before we watch this, keep in mind that this movie is probably on the science fiction Mount Rushmore. Because
yeah, I don't know how it couldn't be. It is in a knife fight for best sequel ever.
Yeah, it really
with
is.
Empire Strikes Back and Aliens. Those three are right there in a circle, like knife fighting over best sequel.
Yeah, without question. Without question. My son just text messaged me to let me know that I have failed him. Okay. I don't know what that means. Don't necessarily care at this point. We'll figure that out later. But
this time, you saw Terminator, son. You should be happy.
Yeah, it's like I do what I can for you. Anyway. Oh shit! Ghosts.
Snake Eyes just attacked Cliff Jumper, and it went about as well as you think a ninja attacking a giant robot that turns into a car goes.
Seems like he's gonna have a bad time.
You did.
So we watched T2, and I remember those special effects being mind-blowing the first time I watched them.
They were.
And they still hold up from time to time pretty well. I mean, clearly.
There are times when they're, but there are times when they're like, still like, that's great.
It's like, that's pretty damn good. And then the only ones that don't stand up worth a shit are when, when the T-1000 has been shot at, but you haven't seen the actual shell hit them, and they're clearly wearing a brooch. I mean, it's just, come on, that's costume jewelry, but it's okay. It's okay. But there are other times, like when the T-1000 eats the rocket propelled grenade to the face, and he blows into the like random shape thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's 25% of the special effects budget right there. And
Jim Cameron does good stuff. Holy moly.
Yeah, I mean, then you go on to his later stuff like Avatar, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is a tour de force. But so, where are you, Mr. John Spencer, calling upon your knowledge of the cinemas and whatnot? Where are you with the conspiracy theory that Terminator and Aliens exist in the same universe?
Well, that's all based off of old Dark Horse comics where they had the license to Terminator, Aliens, and Predator, and specifically put them all in the same universe to the point where their proposed origin of the alien was to be the ultimate prey for the predators.
Okay.
I take it or leave it. I think it can. I think they can exist in the same universe, but as aliens in the future, it doesn't really matter.
The design of the dropships in Aliens and the design of the hunter-killer
Oh yeah,
flying things are just
definitely. Jim Cameron's got some design features he likes.
yeah. He likes like the little fishy tail things
Oh yeah,
and he likes the pod nodule like vent ducted fan thing and
yeah. I think if you took those two next to each other, you'd be like, I see the same guy made those two particular things.
yeah. I mean, I like the.
So did you guys stop after Terminator 2?
Well, that's as far as we got. Today's the show, and yesterday we
Okay.
watched D2. So
Oh, so I will say, just so everyone knows, I have not seen Terminator Salvation because the reviews of it are fuck awful.
okay.
Obviously, I've seen Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
And what
Obviously,
top level? Don't give a review. Give me a shots of Kraken.
for
3.
Terminator 3,
Yeah.
let's give it 3.5.
3.5. That's
Yeah.
rough. Okay, so
And then I've seen Terminator Genesis. I actually reviewed it on this very podcast years ago. I actually am nicely going to give it 3.5. That's being a tiny bit generous, but there were some very good parts
okay.
and some very bad parts. Arnold was a standout in that. And then I've also seen the most recent Terminator
And how many shots is that one going to get for you?
2.
Interesting.
It is a very good movie that gets shit on by people who don't want the franchise to continue. Think that it should all be happy endings. It can't all be happy endings. Sometimes you got to get real.
Okay, so that's cool. So we will work our way as a family through this. And to be honest, I finally wore Belinda down. I've watched all of the movies that she would classify as chick flicks. I've watched all of them now. We've been together for 7 years, John. And I finally wore her down. But that being said, I actually have enjoyed 99.9% of everything that she's asked me to watch.
I mean, people shit on chick flicks, but the ones the women like are usually pretty good. They usually have
I feel
the good elements you look for.
I feel bad for calling them chick flicks. They're not. They are not as they're more cerebral than what I would normally pick, and that is calling it a chick flick is a terrible thing to do, and I apologize for that.
No,
But-
I would say that's actually more of a very nice way to tell us all how cerebral and intelligent your woman is.
And she is, without question, no doubt about it.
Oh.
Except for Muriel's Wedding, that movie can die in a fire. So there you go. But anyway,
I mean, I asked you shots of Kraken for Terminator 1 and 2, but I'm pretty sure I know the answers.
1. I give him 1 only because you get a little. Is always kind of a good thing to go. So 1 shot for one, half a shot for 2. It's the Mount Rushmore of science fiction is probably for me is probably T2, Aliens, The Fifth Element, and who's the 4th? Who's the? Oh,
Gotta be
it's
Star
gotta be a Star
Wars.
Wars movie. Probably.
Probably Star Wars itself. How can you? I mean,
I think Star
as much
Wars.
as I like Empire is better, I think
Yeah.
Star Wars is still.
I think Star Wars
Rush-
needs to be up there. I think it has earned its spot because it freed the people. So there you go. So what's your Mount Rushmore?
That's a tough thought for just sci-fi flicks. I mean, I can't. I have to agree with T2 and Aliens and Star Wars. The 4th, that's. I mean, I love Fifth Element, but I don't think it's Rushmore. I still mind boggled that it's as good as it is. I'd really have to think about the 4th. I don't know.
So
No, Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan.
That's fine. That's a good pick. That's a damn good pick. You know, there's a the heads that are on Mount Rushmore were picked to represent specific concepts, like the birth of the nation, the growth of like Jefferson's up there because of the Constitution and the solidification of the nation.
Mhm.
Roosevelt's up there because of the growth of the nation, and um, Lincoln is there for the preservation of the nation, and Trump will go up there for the destruction of the nation. But
And right before we start the whole thing.
yep, and so I mean, I think if we took, and I want to look up the specific words, but I think
There's
that
your
might
Trump
be
joke.
what was that?
There's your Trump joke.
Yeah,
Anyone got bingo?
oh, bingo. No, there was a bingo earlier.
Yeah.
I think that for episode 201, A Painting Odyssey, and I'll post this out on the Facebook. Let's come at this with some Mount Rushmore picks for some different topics, and we'll do that. Maybe that's gonna be a new thing for us. Is the Rushmore
cool, yeah.
list?
Shoot me a topic when you think of it in chat, and I will think of some Rushmores for that.
And that's our new thing. Is gonna be we're gonna Rushmore, and I just came up with
I mean,
it. It's like fucking.
We're gonna listen to Rushmore. I can listen to Rushmore. I'm down with
listen
Rush.
to Rush I've listened
But
to so
yeah.
much Rush. It's fantastic.
The Rush Greatest Hits is probably one of the best greatest hits that ever did greatest hits.
Oh yeah.
Just like
If you took a greatest hits of their greatest hits album, it would be all the greatest hits because they've had a lot of greatest hits.
damn,
Like
dude.
the Rushmore we could have the Rushmore of Rush albums.
Oh, well, I don't know about albums. We could do songs, but I could probably do that off the top of my head. And one of them would be maybe one that does a little dissension in the ranks. But
Oh no, we like dissension. It breeds conversation.
let's go with Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, Limelight, and Time Stand Still.
Interesting. Time Stand Still is an interesting pick. It was a very mainstream song for them. It really introduced Rush to a very different demographic. I don't disagree with it. Amy Mann, hell of a singer. If I was gonna pick 4, and I'm gonna go deep cut on a lot of these. Natural Science from the Permanent Waves album, because it represented Rush going into their kind of movements of a song, and there's the lyrics "Wheels within wheels in a spiral array." A pattern so grand and complex. Time after time, we lose sight of the way our causes can't see their effects. It's a great series of lyrics. So, Natural Science from Permanent Waves. Not Free Will, but Spirit of Radio.
I mean, you could put Free Will on there. I wouldn't even argue with you. Spirit of the Radio is
Spirit
great
of
too.
Radio. Permanent Waves is my favorite album of theirs. Then I would say Closer to the Heart.
Okay, that's.
And then probably Tom Sawyer, only because of there is no full album by any group that is as solid from the first note to the last than Moving Pictures. And I will fight someone to prove me wrong.
That's fair. You're not going to get arguments on Rush for me. I mean, I love Rush. Easily the best Canadian band.
Yeah. Kathy says their lyrics are poetry, and their poet is unfortunately no longer with us. Neil Peart was a genius for writing lyrics. They were a smarter version of Led Zeppelin's lyrics. Way smarter.
So, if you want some more potentially hot takes here, while I respect Led Zeppelin like a motherfucker, I respect the crap out of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of their music. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. No, you're not gonna get a hot take out of me out of that one. They're fine. They're fine.
So, Neil Peart and Rush?
Neil Peart.
Ron?
Rush is a band I've seen more than any other band. I've seen them 3 times.
And I've not seen any band in person more than once. Do you want to hear the list? This is good.
Sure.
It's not very deep, unfortunately. I don't get out to a lot of shows. I've seen the Monkees with their opening act. You may have heard of him. Not quite as big as the Monkees. Weird Al Yankovic.
I saw the Monkees, but not with Weird Al Yankovic. I saw him on a different tour.
And then I've seen Hugh Lewis in the News.
Okay, good. I bet you it was a fun show.
It was. And then I've seen Queen
Oh fuck. Well, there you go. God,
recently.
recently was it with Freddie? Okay,
No.
okay.
It was with Adam Lambert, but it was still
Okay.
a hell of a show.
Kathy, I wish you well. Thank you for coming to the
Hey,
show.
Kathy.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, actually, so just so you know, not Brushhead Dave and I went to go see that together. It was a good time.
Fantastic. I've seen a lot of shows, and I'll give you my top 4, my Rushmores of live acts I've seen.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Thanks for.
And I will just number 1. I'll start at the top because it's easier that way. Was Sting with Peter Gabriel?
Oh shit! I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Holy fuck, what a show! Because they didn't do it as an opening act and closing act. They were on stage together the whole time, and they played each other's music. And
That is amazing.
it was
That's how you do it.
mind-blowing how good that concert was. And I was stone sober for the whole show, and I saw it with Belinda, and it was perfect.
No, top on your Rushmore, obviously.
Perfect.
It's the Washington on your Rushmore.
Yep. The next one was They Might Be Giants on
Shit.
Here Comes the Science tour. So
Oh.
it was a kids show, and I saw it with my sons and my ex Michelle, and they played their kids' music, which, as far as I'm concerned, between Here Comes the Science, Here Comes the ABCs, and Here Comes the 1, 2, 3s, are the 3 best albums that They Might Be Giants ever did.
I'm pretty standard with them. I really, really like Flood, but that's also the only album I owned, so I haven't heard the rest.
Listen to Here Comes the Science, because the sun is a mass of incandescent gas.
Oh yeah, I love that song. I mean, it's They Might Be Giants. I love all their songs.
And I am a paleontologist. And
I've not heard. I'll have to.
the best part about Here Comes the Science is there's the song the sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, and then the next song is called How the Sun Really Works.
Yes.
Which is all about plasmas and miasmas of electrons and stuff like that. It is genius. So, the third on my Mount Rushmore of bands that I saw live. Oh, it's a big step backwards. I saw a version of Guns N' Roses in Seattle it was Axl, and Duff McKagan joined him on stage, and he knocked it out of the park. It sounded like him, it rocked like him. It was a lot of fun. Guns N' Roses was a great show. And then it's a toss. I have to put Rush on the Power Windows tour. I will say this. Rush, bless their heart, they don't put on a great show as far as like the dynamicism on stage, because it's 3 dudes and they're working their ass off because that music's fucking hard.
Yeah, they're playing the music great, but it's not the show.
Right. Actually, I'm gonna make a controversial pick for my 4th.
Oh, hot take.
I was amazed at how good. Well, it's a toss-up between the Violent Femmes and Tears for Fears. The Violent Femmes were really good as an opening band for. Oh no! Fuck! I'm gonna hotter take.
God.
Jonathan Colton as an opening band for They Might Be Giants blew They Might Be Giants off the stage.
Holy shit!
Was not even close. They Might Be Giants walked out and just stunk up the place. I walked out. I left the show. But Jonathan Colton could have played for 3 hours, and I would have listened. He was terrific. He interacted. It was a small show. Go ahead, John. I thought you were going to say something. No, Jonathan Colton came out and interacted with the audience really well. Did every song I wanted him to hear. Did Skull Crusher Mountain, IKEA, did everything. It was amazing. And if you don't know who Jonathan Colton is, get off my podcast. So
go check.
Go ahead.
Trust us.
Yeah, go listen to the album you want to listen to is Best Show Ever, and it is a live broadcast of recording of one of his shows, and he is amazing. Yeah, IKEA, it's furniture for college kids and divorced men. That he is so on point with his lyrics.
I feel attacked.
Oh, so do I, but it's true.
True.
So.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
so I've got a lot of YouTube videos of when live performances come up, and there's some bands that I may not be the biggest fan of, like Ghost. I'm not a hugest fan of Ghost. They got some songs that are okay.
Yep.
But I would go see the fuck out of them. They put on a show.
And you know who's a big Ghost fan?
On YouTube.
You know who's a big Ghost fan is Scotty Potty.
Really? Oh, like their music's fine. I'm not gonna change the channel or anything if it comes on. I'm not going to my way for it, but man, their live shows, their guys are putting on a fucking show.
It's a theatrical event.
Absolutely, and I respect that, because honestly, the reason I don't go to a lot of shows is because all the bands I liked, they wouldn't necessarily put on a big show. Back when it was like not a big show. They're playing music, it's cool, it's awesome, but I can hear their music at home in a lot of cases, a more easy to digest format. But if you put on a show, like Queen put on a show, I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
Weird Al put on a show. The Monkees, they were okay. And this is Weird Al in the 80s, man. He hadn't even hit it huge yet, which is funny.
Yeah, but Weird Al in the 80s was a thing, if you knew anything about Dr. Demento.
He was, I think he was just off the Living in America.
Yeah.
That was a big part of what he did. It was cool.
Oh, I'd see Postmodern Jukebox in a fucking second, along with the Puddles Pity Party. Yeah, I would in a second. Both those bands.
There's a lot of them. Like, you guys got to check. Everyone's got to check out the smaller bands. Check out your local bands. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Music is in a great place. You may say the radio's shit. Yeah, the radio's the standard stuff, but there's a lot of good music out there.
Hey, get this, John. We just got congratulated by Restream.io. We had 100 messages today in today's stream. That's amazing.
Oh.
We've never gotten that before.
That's awesome.
It's
Thumbs
wonderful.
up.
Thumbs up. That's fantastic. I feel like this has been a really strong episode of Painting with Men Off.
Yeah.
We're at 9 people. We were at 10 or 11 people a second ago.
Kurt came by and said, thanks for 200. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you'll come back, because we're going to be back in 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
And
2 weeks. Maybe 1 week sometimes, but let's count on 2 weeks.
Look at this. We got some.
I'll have some more Clone Wars to talk about. Hopefully, better Clone Wars. He'll be almost done with that.
I will be done with it. I'm gonna get this shit done.
I will be long done with this thing and moved on to other stuff.
Yep.
Because I need to move on.
Yep. A little pro tip on that Daily Bugle: a little bit of white on that glass, just a few streaks, like a longer and a little smaller one and a little bit smaller one, just to kind of sell the glass. Might be interesting.
I actually highlighted and shaded the glass, but you can't tell except in the right light. So,
so that's cool. So
I do more of that.
Something to think about.
Yeah, no, I'll put some white on it too. That's later. Right now, I'm just finishing up the brown, make sure it's good, then paint over the white, make it solid, and then we're going to seal it and do some more touch-ups afterwards.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this weekend sometime, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to probably run up to Milwaukee and probably get that little pig with a tank. And,
Oh, yeah.
and get up there. And I'm still, even though I don't go out and game in game stores because COVID scares the fuck out of me, and even though I've had it, I, I, I do not believe that I'm immune at all.
No, don't test it. Let's
So
all be smart about it.
Wear that mask.
I
Not
the only reason I didn't put Team Covenant on fucking notice on Twitter is because I'm trying not to start Twitter fights. They had a picture of them like having this tournament, all these people, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Not one of you motherfuckers is wearing a mask.
No, you got to wear a mask, man. You know, you can wear a mask and you can wear badass. You can be a badass in a mask.
I don't understand it. It's crazy, but keep yourself safe.
I love wearing a mask. Anyway,
try if you guys can play at your buddy's house. Like Banyan and I can play games. He just doesn't choose to right now, but he really wants to. We'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, I genuinely hope Russ comes by the house and we get a chance to play. And I will ask him, Russ, do you wear masks on a regular basis? As much as I want to see, if he is willing to wear a mask on a regular basis, then I will happily welcome him here to Ron's basement. If he doesn't, I can't.
I actually do. I have eaten in restaurants multiple times. Usually, it's just the local Mission Barbecue. Me and my buddies at a table. We tend to put our masks on when we're done eating. But I trust those guys. I know all those people. They're all smart people. I know they're doing the right thing. And then once my cousin and I ate at another restaurant, but there's no one nearby us. The waitress had a mask on. It was very safe, and you can do some of that, but you got to be careful about it, and you got to wear that mask.
You know what I'm going to do?
If you want,
go ahead.
What's that?
No, I was just going
to
go ahead. Finish your story.
I'll say, if you want a game with people and the local store will let you, do it, but wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not. You know what we could do is that I could have Russ out on the party patio and under the pergola, if you will, and we could put the table out there, then we're outside, and then we could both still have masks on, and we would be double safe. Boom. We're gaming outside, and we're having the COVID-19 social distancing, which is
absolutely. That's a good idea.
We can make that happen. All right, folks. You know what? This time, John, I think it's that time.
It is that time. We had a hell of a podcast. We started early. We ended late. That's what you guys deserve.
That's a solid fucking hell yeah.
Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Woo.
Thanks, everybody. Honestly, thank you so much. I feel very grateful for the fun that we've had over the years. And Midnights, please stay well and wear a mask. Have to get back to Mom. Broski hugs. Hey, back at you, Rune Shaper. Thanks for being a part of the show. A very active part of the show. A good chunk of why we broke that 100 mark. Folks, we're going to be here in a couple weeks. Tune in.
And you will be too, as long as you're wearing a mask.
Bring a mask. I can wear a mask like this. But no, that's wrong. I have to cover my nose too. There we go.
That's right.
How good of a mask would this be?
Be ready. I mean, Snake Eyes has got a mask on. He's wearing the full mask. He's ready to go.
There, on behalf of the Blue Glove of Love, the co-host with the most, up in the catbird seat, the mighty right hand of the podcast. You know him, you love him. He's Mr. John Spencer. I'm, of course, Minoff John. We're going to be back a week or two. Watch them, press, click the subscribe and doorbell and the Twitch follow. And, be all over I'm going to break John's arm if I keep this up too much longer. On behalf of the whole Painting with Minoff John greater universe, have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, we fucking nailed one finally after 200 episodes. We're the best.
I would say we at least nailed two.
We beefed all over it, for sure.